everyone, and welcome back to my channel. September 15th is the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. I thought I would share my favorite Hispanic media like books, movies, some online resources, and some small businesses to support. Okay, so for the books category, a couple years ago, I think it was 2019 or 2020, America Ferrera released a book called American Like Me, and it's a collection of essays written by a bunch of different people. Some of them are also celebrities, and it's just talking about their story, like how they became either like how they got to the United States or just what they think makes them an American, because America Ferrera is an American, but she's also a Latina, she's also Hispanic. So how those cultures can intertwine. And it's a really good book. Again, it's just short essays, so it's a really cool read. Another book that I just finished a couple weeks ago is I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica Sanchez. This book is about a teenager who loses her sister, and she's trying to figure out like what she actually knew about her sister and how like her culture, she's Mexican, and she lives in Chicago, how her culture has like affected her relationship with her sister, and like she's trying to realize about herself and how she can fit into her family. And she just seems like an oddball out, or like the black sheep of the family. And it talks about like her mental health struggle and just her dreams, and sometimes your family doesn't support what you want to do, and it was just really interesting read, so I would recommend that one. And another book that I read this year is You Sound Like a White Girl. This book is nonfiction, and she's writing about like her story. She is also Mexican, and she grew up in Texas, and she writes a lot about like immigration and just different aspects of being like a Mexican American person and what that entails. And there were a lot of parts in this book reading. I was actually listening to it on audiobook that I had to like pause because I was getting so frustrated, because when you hear the truth about certain things that have happened to Mexican Americans, Hispanic people, other Latino cultures, like it hurts so much knowing that happens and continues to happen. So definitely take pauses when you read that book. It's a really good book. But I had to take like some sections and just like skip over, or just really take my time and like not be stressed out about it as well, because it can get frustrating, and those things just make me upset. And she writes it very well. And then I also wanted to mention The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. I haven't read this book in a long time, but I think after the book that I'm reading currently, I think I'm going to pick this up and read it. It's the time to be embracing our culture, so I want to reread it. But yeah, and Sandra Cisneros, I actually met her in person a couple years ago. She was at my undergraduate school, Our Lady of the Lake University, doing a book signing. So I took somebody else's book who they weren't able to go, and I took the book for her to get signed, The House on Mango Street. So I got her to sign a book, and it was really cool to meet her. Alright, and for movies to celebrate the month with, I obviously have to suggest Selena. Selena is a movie about Selena Quintanilla. She was a Tejano singer, like the female Tejano singer. So definitely watch that if you haven't. There's also a series on Netflix that is similar, but like a little bit more in depth than the movie. They also remade Father of the Bride, I think last year or this year maybe, and it's on HBO Max. So if you want to watch like the Latino cast or Hispanic cast of Father of the Bride, it was really good. Okay, there's also another movie called Las Piladores de Mi Novio, which It was such a funny movie. I went to the movies. I think I went to the movies with my mom and saw that. Um, and it's really funny. It's about, so it's saying my boyfriend's pills. So her boyfriend has to take all these medications and he doesn't take the medications, and then kind of like what happens, and they go on a retreat together and stuff. So it's a comedy movie and it's really funny. Okay, so I also have some recommendations if you are Hispanic or want to learn more about Hispanic and Latino culture. There's some resources like Instagram pages that you can check out, and I'll just link them down below because there's too many to suggest. But I also wanted to shout out some Latina owned brands. We'll start with makeup. So there's a makeup brand called Luna Magic, and I think they're sold at Target. A lot of these brands I've actually never bought from, but I follow their Instagram pages, and I've bought like some stuff, but I haven't bought like a whole bunch from a lot of these brands. But Luna Magic. There's also Vive Cosmetics, and their lipsticks are really nice, very pigmented. And then some shops, like clothing shops and stuff like that. There's JZD, which they're based out of Brownsville, and they actually have a collection coming to Target. So if you're at your Target and you see like the Hispanic Heritage Month section, they might have some JZD merchandise there. And then JZD are the first ones to come out with the like Latina Power shirt. So that's kind of what that brand's known for. There's also Viva La Bonita, which, man, I have to stop myself every time from buying everything from their store. They have the cutest shirts, the cutest like sweat sets. It's just really cute. And then there's also Shop Mi Vida. So they also have a lot of stuff. Then I also wanted to shout out a crafty person, a creative person, who is Yaya, and she runs Beyond the Canvas by Yaya, and she like paints hats, and she's also Hispanic, and she makes these really beautiful hats, and she also will like throw in some cultural stuff in there. I think her mom sews or something, or and they make really nice products. So those are the brands that I would suggest if you wanted to support somebody during Hispanic Heritage Month, or if you have somebody's birthday coming up, or if you have something else going on and you need to buy something for, I would check out those brands first. And I'd love to hear your recommendations of your favorite Hispanic, Latina, Latino owned brands, books, movies. There's so many good like shows out there too that I didn't touch on, but I am looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. So let me know in the comments down below what your favorite way to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and happy Hispanic Heritage Month.